Hey, we'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Isotope, makers of software and plugins for audio repair, mixing, and mastering. We use Isotope products here at the High Gain. It's an important part of how we've been able to bottle pure podcast gold week after week. And guess what? Isotope offers 1 free month of Music Production Suite Pro, which has all the tools you need to mix, master, and repair audio. Also, you can get 10% off all other software using the promo code FRET10. That's FRET10. All of this is at isotope.com, IZOTOPE.com.
Hey, this is Ed Peterson.
And this is John Kieltyka.
And this is the High Gain Podcast.
Yep, the High Gain Podcast. It's about guitars.
Just about guitars. You going to tell me a story about a guitar?
I am going to tell you a story about a guitar.
Where are we recording from, John?
West Seattle, Washington, Ed.
Great. More specifically, we're in your basement.
Yep.
And you know what else is in your basement?
What?
Cats.
Yep.
I'm fucking allergic to cats and my eyes are bleeding.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So, Ed?
Yep.
What do you know about the Rickenbacker?
Peter Buck plays one. REM might be my favorite band.
Really?
Yeah, they might be. I think so.
More than ABBA?
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely more than ABBA.
What about the Beatles?
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're, yeah. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, the Beatles are pretty good.
I guess.
Did you happen to hear that first chord of that song?
I don't know.
Hard Day's Night?
I was thinking about ABBA.
Tons of bands heard that first chord.
Do it again.
From Hard Day's Night.
Do it again.
That is a Rickenbacker.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
The very first chord.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
That is a Rickenbacker. The chimey tones of a Rickenbacker.
Okay.
Because of that.
What do you think? What amp was that going into? Was that going into an AC30?
Probably a Vox.
Yep. Okay.
And you know who else has a Rickenbacker?
Peter Buck.
Buck Henry? He was funny, that guy.
Was he from Nashville Grand Ole Opry? No,
he was a comedian, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Buck Owens.
Buck Owens maybe had one.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
And he was probably on the Grand Ole Opry.
But you hear this tone? This is the bell-like tone of the Rickenbacker.
Do it again. It's great. Hit me with some arpeggios.
Arpeggios?
Yeah. Do it. Real fast like Peter Buck.
That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. You know, in the beginning, Peter Buck always played his arpeggios in one direction. One Direction, you know that band?
Harry Styles.
Yeah, exactly. Liam Payne left the band. I think Liam left, right? Was it Liam? Zane. Zane might have left. Liam or Zane left One Direction. One Direction is how Peter Buck played his arpeggios in the beginning. In the first few albums, he played like all down or all up. And not, he didn't sweep. He didn't have a sweep technique. On a Rickenbacker 360.
Or he would play just chords like...
Right, sure. Yep.
Yeah, like that.
I love it.
I think you're heading in the right direction. It's not One Direction.
Right. They're really good too, though. I've seen One Direction live.
Were they pretty good?
We're pretty good.
Who was your favorite one?
Harry. Come on.
Why?
Come on. He's got cool hair. He was pretty good in Dunkirk. He didn't want to drown. Did that come up in the last one of these? Did we talk about Dunkirk?
Well, Dunkirk was pretty good.
It was.
I don't think there's any Rickenbackers in the Dunkirk soundtrack.
You know that one scene when they pause it? Did you ever pause that and look at it frame by frame?
No.
There's a Rickenbacker 360 in the background when he's drowning.
Oh, it's sticking out of the sand on
Yeah.
the beach. Yeah, the Nazis are shooting it up.
Yep. Fucking Nazis.
Oh, Nazis.
Yep.
Well, so this Rickenbacker might not have been so prominent if it hadn't been for a guy, Roger Rossmeisel.
Ross Meisel.
German guy, turns out. Hey,
What?
maybe he was on Dunkirk.
Maybe.
Maybe, and as,
What?
as
Yep.
penance for shooting up Harry Styles
Right.
on the beaches of Dunkirk,
Yep.
Ross Meisel thought, I need to do something peaceful with my life.
Yes.
I will go to the U.S.
Okay.
and build guitars.
Okay.
So when do you think he came to the U.S.?
Pre-World War II. He came to the U.S. in 1928.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
It was post-World War II.
Okay, so 1929.
He came to the U.S. in 1953.
Okay. So World War II did not end in 1929.
As it happens, no.
Okay.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
But so he shows up, and does he make the Rickenbacker that we're talking about, the 360? Or
The 360, it's a beautiful guitar.
The 300 series?
I hope so. God, I hope so.
No.
First thing, out of the gate.
Out of the gate, he goes to work for Gibson.
Yeah.
He goes to Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yep.
But you know what's funny about that?
No.
He goes there, and then shortly thereafter, probably within months, he says, oh, hey, Gibson, I'm going to take a road trip.
Okay.
I'm going to go on vacation. I'm just going to go to California and eat some oranges.
There's a lot of people that go out to California. Like, didn't Lovey do? Isn't this the same shit Lovey did?
I think this is what Lovey did, yeah. Well, I mean, it's Michigan, right? So, I mean, what are you going to do? Shovel snow for the rest of your life? You could be in California eating an orange.
I was listening to that that album Michigan by
Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah, Michigan. I was just listening to that album last night.
How was that?
It's great. It's a good album.
Oh, Sufjan. Did you see his performance on the Oscars?
I didn't.
It was horrible.
Was it?
It was horrible.
No, what?
I mean, it was well done,
Okay.
but it was so saccharine and just maudlin.
Well, he's a sad guy.
I'm sure he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a great...
Academy Award loser.
Yeah, so Roger's out in California, and he thinks, I kind of like it here.
Yep.
And he stumbles upon this place called Rickenbacker, and he says, hey, you know what I do? I make guitars.
Wait, Rickenbacker was a place?
No, it was, well, a place of business.
Okay.
Yes?
It's not like a city. He stumbles on
Yeah, he got lost.
Rickenbacker, California. Is that a thing?
Yeah, he ended up in unincorporated Rickenbacker,
Okay.
where the streets have no names.
Yeah. Oh, great. The Edge plays a Strat. He plays like a 70, maybe like a 78 Stratocaster.
Does he?
Black. Yeah, like a black Strat.
He maybe played a Rickenbacker once or twice.
Probably. Oh, probably. Everyone has played a Rickenbacker. Anyone that's smart. And there's a lot of smart people in rock and roll. A lot of real smarties.
Yep. So then Ross Meisel, yes, he finds Rickenbacker, the company.
Great.
And says, hey, can I work here? And they say, yeah.
Okay.
So he calls Gibson back in Kalamazoo and says, I quit.
Fuck you, Gibson.
That's right.
That must feel so good to say that to that company. I want to get a job for Gibson before they go bankrupt, just so I can call them up and say, fuck you, Gibson.
Wouldn't that be great?
I love it.
Yeah. So that's what he does. So in 54,
Okay.
he starts in. He starts in as a luthier.
At Fender?
Rickenbacker.
Okay.
He's not in.
Right. He's not in Fender, California. He's in Rickenbacker, California.
That's right. Just down the road.
Just south.
But you know, it's not like he was operating in a vacuum.
Okay.
Elvis Presley releases his first hit single. That's all right. You know that's all right, Mama.
Yeah, I know.
The first Godzilla movie.
That's cool. Okay. Now you've piqued my interest.
That's pretty good.
Can we talk about Godzilla for a little while? Who was in that first Godzilla movie? That wasn't the one with
whoever wore the suit? Probably.
Matthew Broderick?
The 1954 Godzilla. Yeah, that would have been Broderick.
What else happened in 1954?
All the way across the country, Miami, Florida. Can you guess what's happening at the very same time as our man Ross?
I can think of a lot of shit going on in Miami, Florida in the 50s, and none of it is good. None of it is worth mentioning on this podcast.
Then this is probably not going to surprise you.
Okay.
The first Burger King opens.
Okay. Burger King, I think, is owned by Bain Capital, and that would be a Mitt Romney jammer. What do you think about that? Fucking guys bankrupt Toys R Us, an American institution.
That's what he does.
Right?
That's what he does.
It's his jam.
But, Oprah?
Yeah.
She was born.
Oh, in 54?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like is she like 64 or something?
It was my understanding there would be no math.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
But, since you mentioned Fender down the road there in Fender, California, down the road from Rickenbacker, California.
Right.
1954 is also when the Stratocaster comes out.
I mentioned one earlier because the Edge played one.
A Stratocaster, a black one.
Yep. A black one.
A lot of people did.
Yep.
They sold very well. They were considered very utilitarian, bulletproof, unique. They still are.
Utilitarian.
Yes. They made them out of solid wood to begin with.
Sure. Solid body.
Minimal parts.
Like the Rickenbacker 360, a solid body.
No, the Rickenbacker 360 is a hollow body. Or I should say semi-hollow body.
Semi.
It's part-way hollow.
Okay.
That's what gives it the ring.
Okay. The ring. The Ricken ring. Yep.
So he starts designing things, our man Roger.
Ross Meisel.
What's
he doing today?
Kind of dead.
Oh, God.
Would you like to pour out something? Do you have a beverage you could pour out for Roger?
We're like a podcast and a half in, and there's got to be like a half dozen dead people.
Well, let's see. Leo Fender. Yeah,
yep.
He's gone.
Yep.
Elvis Presley.
Gone.
He's gone.
Lovey's still around. That's good news.
No. Lovey died.
Oh, God damn it.
Oprah is still with us. President Oprah.
2020.
2020. Oprah 2020.
Yep. Winfrey. Winfrey.
Yeah, Hanks.
Winfrey
Hanks.
Winfrey West. Kanye West. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
He plays a Rickenbacker.
Yeah, I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah. He loves it.
He loves the Rick.
Yeah.
So it's in this hotbed of guitar activity with Fender right down the road there in Fender, California.
What were we doing in Miami a minute ago?
Opening up Burger King.
Okay, that's all?
That's all.
We just went there to open Burger King, and
now we're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back in California.
So it takes Ross Meisel a few years to putter around with some designs. He's doing some carving of the wood.
You said that the 360 was not the first guitar he made.
No, he was working on Rickenbacker's other offerings.
Okay.
And there are a lot because Rickenbacker is credited a guy named Adolf Rickenbacker.
Ugh.
He ended
German.
up the German. Well, there's a lot of Dunkirk.
Right.
Shame here.
A lot of stuff going on.
Adolf Rickenbacker invented the first electric guitar, arguably. But that was way back when in the 30s. So now here we're in 1954. Adolf, I hate to say it, he might be dead. But luckily he sold the company to the guy whose son still owns Rickenbacker.
Okay.
So
really?
Yep.
Oh, is it a private company?
It is a private company.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
One of the oldest companies, instrument manufacturers, building guitars, entirely made in the U.S.
I am a fan. I'm a fan of that.
They don't have a line produced in Mexico or a budget series made in Korea or something. It's U.S.
I can't get a Squire Rickenbacker.
You cannot.
Tell me about the Epiphone line of the Rickenbacker guitar.
There isn't one.
Okay.
Yep.
I love it.
But you know who does? You know who does that? Gibson.
Not into it. Not into it.
Yeah. So after all this toiling away, we're up around 1958 now, and Roger is cooking. So Roger comes out
58.
with 58.
Okay.
Pizza Hut is founded in 1958.
I do not know the parent company of Pizza Hut. I don't believe it's Bain Capital.
Let's just pretend it is.
Well, let's pretend it's Pizza Hut Incorporated and they are an American-made company and they pay their workers and give them health care. Let's pretend that.
Okay, great. God bless. So Roger is instrumental in developing this guitar I hold in my hand, the 360. In fact, the entire 360 series. I'm sorry, the entire 300 series.
The 300. So there's like the... Oh, great. What's going on there? That's weird, right?
Yep.
You're fucking around with the thing.
Yep.
You're... Oh,
There
look
we
what
go.
you did. No. You're fucking everything up, John.
Yep, it's the cables. So this 360 has 2 pickups. If you put a third pickup in it, it's a 370. If you put 6 more strings on it, so it has 12, it's a 360/12.
That makes sense. Everything you're saying to me makes sense. I saw a reference to the 370, and I didn't know what it meant.
Yep.
So it's the same body style.
Yep.
Which came first, the 330 or the 360?
Yes.
Ross Meisel, did he do them both?
Yep. He did the whole series. The 330 does not have binding on the back.
Yep.
Like this.
Yep.
It
John's
does,
pointing at his guitar. He's
it does
showing
not
me
have,
binding.
Yep. It does not have the shark fin inlays on the neck.
They're really cool. I like the shark fin inlays.
It has dot inlays instead. It does not have Rico sound.
That is...
And we'll get into that later.
It sounds like an inferior guitar.
It does, however, have the high gain pickups.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about the strength of pickups in our first episode.
Right. I think we measure those on a Richter scale,
That's
if
right.
I remember right.
That's right.
So
And
we're talking like the scale goes to... I'm going to refresh people's memory because it's like been a while, but the scale goes to 1,000,000, and a regular humbucker will come in at about a 9.
Yep. And
The high gainers on a 330?
at least 11.
Okay. Oh, okay. So throw that Tele Deluxe in the garbage with its 10.2.
With its 10.2. Now you've got some loudness.
Okay. I love it.
And we'll talk about how people use that loudness later. But you know what else was happening? Mm-hmm. The Beatles are still in Germany doing whatever they're doing, wearing leather.
This is
something.
1958.
Uh-huh.
What Beatles albums have come out by 58?
I don't know.
Nothing.
I think A Hard Day's Night was
Later.
later.
Yeah.
Meet the Beatles, maybe? You know who would know?
Peter Buck, guitar player for REM.
Harry Styles.
Okay.
Or TV's Larry King.
Oh.
Yep.
Is he? Yeah, he's fine. Larry King's okay.
I think Larry King's okay.
Okay.
You know what else is happening? So this comes out, it makes a big splash in the U.S.,
Yep.
mostly.
Does it?
But
Okay.
Not as big as it would be because, there's a lot of things going on. Godfried Christensen, do you know him?
No.
He's Danish.
Oh, okay. Okay, well yeah, I still don't know who he is.
He invents and files a patent for Legos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, so that's why the Rickenbacker wasn't successful then, is because some Danish dude filed a patent.
Well, you got to compete with Legos. Not only that, the hula hoop is introduced. The hula hoop. How do you compete with the hula hoop? It's busy out there.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yep. But it all changes because...
Sputnik was launched in 58.
Was Sputnik. So the Russians are watching, and so now we've got to do something about this.
We gotta,
So we should give one of these Rickenbackers to the hottest thing on the planet, about 59, 60, 61, 62, something like that, early 60s.
Okay, post 58.
Yeah,
The thing's been out a couple of years.
Yeah, let's give one of these to the Beatles.
Oh, sure. George Harrison?
So we take a 12-string version and we give one to George Harrison.
Oh, great.
And he uses that same guitar as the opening chord on A Hard Day's Night.
Wait. We already heard this. What?
Hear that? You hear that Rickenbacker goodness? I know you hear that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
Maybe you just don't like it. But you know what happens because of that? It goes ape shit.
Bonkers.
Everybody wants a Rickenbacker now. Oh my God, the Beatles. They played the Rickenbackers on the Ed Sullivan Show. They toured with them while they were still doing that.
Okay.
Everybody wants one.
Did my guy Ross Meisel, did he give George Harrison a guitar?
Oh, I think the company Rickenbacker from Rickenbacker, California.
Rickenbacker, California.
Yeah, they gave George Harrison one. Yeah. But because of that, everybody else wants one. Who wants one? Well, have you ever heard of a guy named Pete Townsend?
Yes, I have heard of him.
So he grabs a 300 series Rickenbacker.
360?
Maybe. I don't know. I think he had multiple Rickenbackers throughout his
This better
career.
be a 360.
And he uses it on a little something called My Generation. Yeah. He's got a little more distortion going through this thing.
Yeah. Great. I'm one of those weird, like I'm a big Who fan. I like them.
The Who's pretty good.
Yep.
But you know the Byrds?
Sure.
Yeah, the Byrds, they take it a whole different direction. They take that 12-string Rickenbacker.
Who's the guitar player for the Byrds?
Roger McGuinn. And they do this song, Turn, Turn, Turn. You'll hear the Rickenbacker featured pretty prominently. Very chimey.
Super chimey. That's those three, you played three little clips, and they all have that chiminess to them, but they're all different.
Yep.
But great.
Yep. So it's great. So now we're in like the mid 60s and everything's going great guns. Everybody wants a Rickenbacker. This is just a beautiful time to be alive. So what does our man Roger do?
Roger Ross Meisel?
Yeah.
It's 50. It's what year are we at?
Oh, let's say it's 65.
Okay, 65. So Leo Fender at this point has a really bad sinus infection, and he fucking shit cans his company because he's like got a little bit of a headache. He's got some pressure.
Yep, and he sells the company to CBS.
Right.
Makers of such fine TV shows as 60 Minutes.
And some CIS or NCIN, I don't know, some Navy show or some shit.
Yeah.
My guess would be that he got, I would guess that he sold Rickenbacker. I would guess that he got a sinus infection and sold the company.
Well, he doesn't own Rickenbacker. He worked for Rickenbacker. By 73, he quit.
Wait, 73, you said 65.
Well, late 60s. 70, early
73 is late 60s?
It was a confusing time to be alive.
Okay.
So he quits and he goes to Fender.
Great.
He decides,
good.
He
goes to Fender right when
wants
Leo leaves?
He wants some of that CBS money.
Ugh.
So he goes to Fender.
Ugh.
What does Fender do with our man Roger? They say, "Oh, Roger, can you do for us what you did for Rickenbacker? How about some of that sweet semi-hollow body jangly Rickenbacker tone?"
Yeah.
Sure, he says. I'll do that. And so he invents a whole series of semi-hollow body guitars. Do you know the Coronado?
I do. I do. And it's that goddamn thing that... Ugh. What do I think? Like, I'm going to go down this thing where I'm not into humbuckers on a goddamn Telecaster. I'm not into a semi-hollow body guitar that looks exactly like a 335, and it's a Fender, and you put a Fender neck on a 335. It's dumb.
Yep.
It's dumb.
I think in this case, the guitar buying public agrees with you, Ed. It was a commercial flop.
I think in all cases, the guitar buying public agrees with me.
Our man Roger doesn't take it very well.
Yeah, selling out, it hurts.
So
That's by design.
So he leaves Fender.
Okay.
In 73, but you know what he does? He gives up guitar design altogether.
Good.
And you know what else he does?
What?
He moves back to Germany.
Fucking figures. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be heartbreaking. It's got to just hurt your soul when you go to some company like Fender and they make you do that kind of shit Put a humbucker in a Telecaster.
We want what those other guys have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's do that.
But meanwhile,
Right.
So he's back in Germany. I don't know what he's doing.
Fucking around. Yeah. Fucking around, spending all that sweet Coronado money.
Yeah, walking the beaches of Dunkirk on vacation.
Dunkirk, Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's getting a baguette in Dunkirk, Germany. Yeah, it's great. But meanwhile, the inevitable march of the Rickenbacker towards greatness continues.
So he must be in West Germany. Tear down that wall and shit.
Maybe he sneaks across. I don't know.
That would be classic Ross Meisel.
Yep.
Just classic Soviet Eastern Bloc bullshit. Yeah, figures.
Yeah.
Figures.
Yeah, suck on this, comrade. Yeah. So back here in the U.S., Big Star. You know the Big Star?
It's kind of a blind spot with me.
Well, a lot of bands you do know.
Yeah.
Count them as an influence.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what Big Star likes?
Cool stuff.
Rickenbackers.
Yep. Okay.
Listen to this.
Uh-huh.
Hear that chimey Rickenbacker?
You need more adjectives for that guitar.
It's very chimey.
Yeah.
Maybe we should fix that. Okay. Maybe it's sandy?
Jangly? It's got some jangle to it.
Haven't we already said jangle?
Well, maybe. We've spent a lot of time on chimey, I feel like.
But
I think that Big Star is kind of like never got, when people dive into Uncle Tupelo and then they go into, Wilco, or they probably start at Wilco and then they go to Uncle Tupelo and then they always end at Big Star.
Maybe.
That's what I feel like.
Yep. Well, then maybe along the beaten track, just 2 years apart from Big Star. You like Tom Petty? Want to hear some Rickenbacker?
Yeah, I do. I think that's our deal, right?
You want to hear some Reiki Sandy?
Yes, I do.
Jangle chime?
Yes, the jangle chimes.
It's Changly.
Hit me.
Okay, 2 Rickenbackers being played at the same time. Tom Petty and Mr. Campbell.
Glenn Campbell?
No, Glenn Campbell. Oh, Glenn Campbell, he's not with us.
Neither's Tom Petty. Shit.
Left and right, man.
I know, they're dropping like flies. It makes me think Rickenbacker, there might be a curse.
Oh, the Rickenbacker curse.
Yeah?
Well, you know who else is still with us, though, I could play for you. Same time as Tom Petty. Do you know the Jam? The Jam in England?
Yeah.
Yeah, back to the Brits.
Okay, let's go Britpop.
But what if you take that Rickenbacker Changly sound we're talking about, and you add some distortion to it?
Okay.
You get some early Jam. Paul Weller, the guitar player.
Paul Weller in the Jam.
He just put that thing into some distortion and went. You hear that?
This is more my speed.
Does it sound like he's messing around?
No, it does not sound like he's fucking
not
around
messing
at all.
around. You hear that?
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Rickenbacker.
Love it.
And that's
Okay.
all. Well, that's all he ever played.
I gotta go.
Okay, and we're back. How'd that work out for you, Ed? Where did you go?
I went to the bathroom.
Okay, Ed had to go to the bathroom,
and it's just for full disclosure, that was 3 days ago.
I had to just think about what's coming next in the podcast because about the same time that the Jam is playing their Rickenbacker through distortion boxes, it gets pretty heavy, Ed.
Okay.
Our man Ross Meisel.
Yeah.
He's back in Germany. Apparently, not for very long.
No, he comes back. He moves back to Rickenbacker, California.
He does not move back to Rickenbacker, California.
He moves to Fender, California.
No.
Okay.
In 1979,
yeah,
he dies.
Roger.
He's gone.
God.
We keep losing him left and right.
I don't know if I can keep doing this podcast. Yeah, it's too much.
Because the guitar guys keep dying?
Yes.
It is pretty heavy.
Yep.
But don't pour that coffee out on the floor.
No.
It'll leave a stain.
This time I don't have a soy latte. I've just got a regular black coffee.
Black coffee.
Yep. Hey, who recorded that song Black Coffee in Bed?
That is Squeeze.
Yep. What do you think they played?
I don't know what they played. I think Glenn Tilbrook played maybe a Strat.
Not a Rickenbacker?
Don't know if they played Rickenbackers. No.
Okay, that's fine.
No.
I'm sorry.
But, it's not the end of the story just because Roger's gone.
Okay.
There are people doing stuff to this day with the Rickenbacker. You want to hear a little example?
Sure.
Of some hard rocking?
Yeah, I love the hard rock. Something in the vein of the Jam, hopefully.
Oh, I think I've got just the thing.
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know about this one, Ed?
Turn it up. Jesus. No. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not into that.
You don't like the Romantics? Well, I know who you do like.
Yes.
You've already said you like the R.E.M.
Yeah.
And
Peter Bucks.
You've already said Peter Buck loves him, the Rickenbacker.
Yep.
So,
He plays 13s. Did we bring that up?
I don't think we brought that up.
He puts 13 gauge strings, like 13 to 58s or something. That's crazy.
But it's Peter Buck. He's a heavy guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's very serious.
I think so.
Roger dies in '79. That Romantics tune takes the world by storm in '80.
Okay.
But in '83,
Yeah.
then Peter Buck has something to say about that. How's that for some Rickenbacker tone?
It's great. It's great. Yeah.
That's pretty chingly.
It's Reiki. I think is the word you like. Reiki. Yeah. Yeah, great. Moral Kiosk, right?
Moral Kiosk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some R.E.M.
I love them.
I know you like that.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think else happens around then?
What year is this? That would have been...
That was '83.
Okay. 83. I don't know. I was going into... I don't want to age, date myself or anything, but 83, I'm like almost in high school.
You're old.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. What else is going on in 83?
You know about Johnny Marr?
Yeah, the Smiths.
The Smiths guy.
Yep.
Listen to this. Also, Chingle Changle.
Okay.
Tinkly.
Yep.
Rickenbacker.
Okay.
This is 83. 83. I
Okay.
already said. Can you hear it?
Great. There's a lot of stuff going on in this one. There's a lot of layers. That's beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. It's 1985. It's 1985, not 83.
Is it?
Yeah.
Also, worth an honorable mention from my home state of New Jersey. Did you know the Smithereens?
Yeah.
They played Rickenbackers all the time.
Okay.
Perhaps you're familiar with their hit single, Blood and Roses.
Yeah, I think I am.
That was 86. Were you born yet?
I was a junior in high school.
In high school?
Yep.
So here's Blood and Roses from 1986.
Sounds like a bass.
It is a bass, but you'll
Is that a
hear
Rickenbacker bass?
The Rickenbacker? No,
no, I don't think
Rickenbacker's coming in.
So there's an acoustic and a Rickenbacker going on in this. What kind of acoustic do you think that is?
I don't know.
It's probably a Martin.
It could be a Martin.
It's probably a Martin. John Lennon played Martin.
Paul McCartney wrote Blackbird on a Martin.
Great.
A D28.
Okay.
Lefty.
Oh, yeah. Lefty. Sure.
I mean, they called him Lefty. I don't know if the guitar was lefty.
Sure. Yep. Okay. That's a little some songs with Rickenbackers. You know what I was thinking about that guitar?
What's that?
I was thinking that it was made in 58 and it has these lines in it that are all like smooth, rounded, like it's got a design thing going on. And then look at a picture of a 1958 Rickenbacker 360 and then look at a picture of a 1958 Corvette, and they're the same thing. They're the same design aesthetic.
I think you're right. They kind of sleek lines and maybe...
yeah, they've got that raked out fin in the car. Like, it occurred to me the other day that I think there's a lot of that 50s, like, spacey design shit that was going on, that this guitar actually looks a lot like the time that it was made.
I think that's pretty astute because
Thanks.
Yeah. You're pretty astute, Ed. Very, very astute.
Thanks. Yeah.
At the time, Sputnik went up and everybody freaked out. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, the Russians are watching.
Yep.
Which apparently has not changed much.
No, there's still issues.
Yeah.
That we've still got issues with those guys, I think.
And still plenty of satellites up there too.
Sure. Yep.
But thus begins the space race.
Yeah.
And so what's founded around that time in the U.S.?
Burger King.
We talked about that. Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. NASA.
Oh,
NASA.
the National Aeronautic Space Association administration.
I thought it was.
NASA.
I thought it was more like the new S stringy. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think that. Well,
but that's what happened then.
Okay.
And Rickenbacker was not the only one to design a guitar back then that had those kind of lines. Then you had you had Gibson. You know about the Explorer?
is that from '58?
Around that time, I think, or the Flying V.
Yeah.
Around that time,
I've got an Explorer, you know.
People. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
People were doing those kinds of lines. Even though the refrigerators you could buy looked all spacey.
And I think that the 360 more, it adopted that Corvette thing where, like, the Explorer is more sharp. It's sharper lines, where this thing is more, if you went all like, you know, it's all like girly style. It's all curvy, that guitar.
It's
curvy.
You just called curves a girly thing.
Well, I mean, JFK's got some curves too.
He's got a couple.
Yeah.
A couple.
Yep. Great.
Yeah, listen to that.
I love it.
So this is the 360.
Okay.
So what you're hearing now is the 360 in standard mode.
Okay. Okay.
What is standard mode?
I don't know. Hey, where'd you get that guitar?
This guitar?
Yeah, that one.
This guitar came from our great friends over at Thunder Road Guitars in beautiful West Seattle, Washington. Visit them if you like.
Yeah.
In person.
Our guy Frank at Thunder Road is a super good guy.
Yep. If you don't live in Seattle,
no,
go to thunderroadguitars.com.
Sure.
And you can
How much were you paid to say that, JFK?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We believe so much in Thunder Road Guitars.
Yep.
I was paid nothing to say that. I wonder what Frank is going to think when he knows that I mentioned him.
I don't. He's going to love it. Well, how could he not love it?
Or maybe he'll
hate it.
He'll ask us to cut that out.
Maybe he will not be super down with our Richter scale, and maybe he'll want to like disassociate. Which, you know, fuck you, Frank.
Well, if he's going to be that way, then don't go there. But
no, you should totally go there.
You should totally go there. Those are great guys. I got this Rickenbacker from.
I was there,
Frank.
and man, that guitar. Yeah, he sold me my AC30. He sold you a Rickenbacker. That's a great pairing, a 360 and an AC30 together.
Yeah,
that's some good shit. Yep, love it.
So this thing has two pickups.
Yep.
One in the neck position, one in the bridge position. Well, what does that mean? So for those of you who are uninitiated, I will play you the bridge position.
Okay.
Owing to the fact that it is closer to the back end of the guitar, the sound is more trebly, more bridgy.
Trebly.
Now I will play you the neck position. Owing to the fact that it is closer to the neck, it is more bassy.
Meaty. That's a real meaty boy.
Hear that? Neck pickup?
Yep. Whoa.
Bridge pickup.
Right.
So you put them both together,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a lot to do with that jingle jangle
Right.
sound.
Right. Yeah.
That drinkly sound.
Drinkly. Sure. Yep.
I'm trying not to say jangly.
Yeah. Ross Meisel did a great job with putting 2 pickups on a guitar. That must have been the first guitar with 2 pickups on it, yeah?
Yeah, no.
Okay, well.
But you know what Ross Meisel did?
What?
He created what's called Rico sound.
Tell me about that.
To play any electric guitar through an amplifier, you need to plug it into an amplifier. This guitar has 2 jacks.
Okay.
So one is for standard sound,
Okay, yeah.
which we're listening to right now. The other is for what is called Rico sound.
Okay.
And what that does is splits the pickups
Okay.
into 2 signals, one for the neck, one for the bridge.
Got it. Okay.
And so that you could theoretically send them out to 2 different amps.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and show you what that sounds like, Ed.
Okay, do it. Yep. Bridge. That's sounding pretty bridgy. That's sounding pretty necky.
So now they are in different channels.
Okay.
I put one pickup to the left
Yep.
and one pickup to the right.
Okay. Great.
Now, in case you can't quite hear what that does,
Yeah.
I went ahead and put some distortion
Oh.
on one of them.
There's another cool thing on that guitar. We talked about the curvy lines, the curviness of that guitar. It's also got that really cool R on the. Oh yeah, that. Yep.
You think? You think that's a rig?
Sure. No, I don't. No, I don't think that's a rig. Yep. I don't think. Now JFK's just gonna fuck around with his guitar for a while.
Okay.
The R on it, I
Yes.
think is really cool looking.
The trapeze bridge
Yep.
is in the shape of the letter R for
Yep.
Rickenbacker. Or maybe
For Roger,
Roger.
maybe for Ross Meisel, R.I.P. Maybe
right.
for R.I.P. You know, maybe it was foreshadowing. Who knows?
Let that be a lesson to you.
Yeah, right.
Careful about what you
Right.
sign.
Was he a drinker?
Was
do we
Ross
think-
Meisel a
Yeah.
drinker?
Yeah, do we know this?
I don't want to speculate
How
about
old would he have been in 58?
In 58.
Yeah. Yeah, like he was, how old was he when he died?
He died in 79.
And he was how old?
52.
52 is not old.
No.
Poor Roger.
Roger.
So he just took it poorly when he went to Fender and made that Coronado. He took it so poorly.
That he got in his car and he drove back to Germany.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, okay. All right. That's a great story of the Rickenbacker 360. I think it's yeah. What? It feels like you're going to say something.
Pretty chimingly, isn't it?
It is. It's got that teardrop on it too. The more you look at the guitar, it's got it's got the cutaway line. It's got the kind of teardroppy shaped pick guard. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's got the double pick guard.
How many guitars have that going on?
Some. That's how many.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
There's a big market for counterfeit
Rickenbackers?
Rickenbackers. You can find fake Rickenbackers all over the place.
Yeah.
And they are so not into that, the Rickenbacker people,
Yeah.
that if you want a replacement part, you have to send them the original part. So
Okay.
this truss rod cover that
Yeah.
has the words
Rickenbacker.
Rickenbacker on it,
Yep.
if you wanted to buy another truss rod cover that says Rickenbacker, you have to send them this one as a way of ensuring to them that you're not just buying headstock covers
Right.
to slap on your counterfeit Rickenbackers.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Sure.
Same thing
Sure.
with the pickups.
Yeah.
Same thing with the jack plate.
Yeah, because those pickups are pretty distinct, right? Like they are single coil, but they're
Single coil high gain pickups. We
Yeah.
already talked about this. They
We did,
They register
but-
1 million.
Yeah.
Almost.
almost 1 million. Jesus.
Yeah, more like 11 or 12.
It's real loud.
Maybe 14.
I don't know.
It depends.
Yeah, we don't know. High gain.
High gain pickups.
Yeah, a lot of design stuff on that guitar.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And so that's the Rickenbacker. stay tuned for the next episode when we talk about whatever the next one is.
Right.
You've been listening to the High Gain Podcast, Ed.
Yes, I've been actually listening to it, and I've been loving it.
Where can people find out more about what we just talked about?
People can go to thehighgain.com.
What are they going to find there?
They're going to find maybe some pictures of this here guitar.
Yeah.
They can find pictures of cats.
Cats?
Yeah, maybe. Don't get too carried away.